this is an 8 by 40 high cube shipping container, and we live in an area that has no code written for these for storage. So we pulled a permit as an accessory building, and we placed the unit on concrete piers. It's not required, but we live in a high water table area. So these units, when they're built, they're designed to carry the weight on the corners. These posts here, this whole unit can carry 67,000 pounds. We just put 24 by 10 inch concrete pads. We had 4 of them that we ordered. We didn't necessarily need those. We just didn't want this unit to lay on the ground directly because we're in a high snow, high water area, and we just wanted to be able to not have to wrestle the doors open. So that's why we placed them on these concrete pads. However, the county, even though there is no code written for these shipping containers, has requested that we add 2 more directly in the center. Well, our problem is we were not able to get 2 more because the concrete supplier sold us the last 4 that they had, and they weren't going to get any more in for quite some time and couldn't order them in. But the county said that in lieu of 1 more concrete pad, 24 by 10 deep, they will allow 2 of these 16 by 8 concrete pads evenly dispersed, and that basically satisfies the request of the county. We don't necessarily agree with this, but when there is no code written, it's not black and white. So you kind of have to do what they ask you to do. And, well, you don't you have to do what they ask you to do if you want to be in compliant. So that's what we have done. The biggest issue is just trying to get them up underneath there and trying to get them level. The I-beam that stretches, across from corner to corner, it more than carries the weight inside this unit. But the building commissioner or director is he's not buying that. So we have to do what they've asked us to do.
What you doing? Hey, Tuck. What you doing? Huh? Look at that wiggly tail. Look at that wiggly stump of a tail. You're like a woolly mammoth. Yeah, you are. Look at you. You silly boy. Hey, what? Look. Go get that bird. Look. Look at how pretty that point is. Get that bird. Look.
So what he's doing right now is he's getting some gravel underneath there.
Are you trying to be the star of the show? What are you doing, you silly boy? Give the camera a kiss. We're so silly. We're so silly. What? Your little wiggly tail. Who's allowed a boy? Hey, you're picking a fight, Tucker. What is that?
So the shipping containers have strap down holes at each corner, top and bottom. And although the county does not have code written for shipping containers, they are still demanding that we place 3 strap downs on each side. The problem is we can't strap down on the holes provided because we have to have them no greater than 14 feet apart. So we have to go in 5 feet from each end, which is what they allowed. And they were being kind enough to say that we could do one more in the center, even though it would place it 15 feet apart by the time you do the math. So the holes are drilled. The 5 there stands for 5 feet in from the corner. As you can see, these shipping containers provide holes for strap down, but the county won't allow us to just use the corners. They are requiring a minimum of 3 strap downs per side, but we can't exceed 14 feet. So that means that we have to place 4 strap downs if we want to utilize the corners. But either way, we have to drill a hole. We had considered welding on some hooks to the I-beam, but they already approved the bolts that we're going to use, so that's how we're going to proceed. They're making us use the mobile home requirements for code and for this area, which doesn't make sense to me because this isn't a mobile home, but it is what it is. They're most concerned about a gust of wind blowing this thing over, which if you look around and you see where we're in the middle of the woods, and if a gust of wind that strong blows over nearly 9,000 pounds of dry weight, I think we have a little more to be concerned about than just this container blowing over. So we can place 1 each 5 feet in from the corner and 1 in the center, giving us a total of 3. Otherwise, if we were to use the corner strap downs, we'd have to do 4. So either way, we're drilling holes in the I-beam, and we'd rather not have to drive 4 anchor arrows into the ground in the winter on each side if we can get away with 3. So again, despite the fact that there is no code for this, we are forging new ground with the county. We are going to comply. So,
Hey, you! Come on, let's go! Piper! Run!
So this is a close-up of the earth anchor that we're looking at. They call it an arrow earth anchor. This one is 6 inches. It is aluminum. You can get it steel. The cables come attached to it. This is here what they call the retrieval anchor. The retrieval cable, and then this one actually locks it in place. So when you're driving it down, if you need to pull it back out, you can pull this one to keep the nose down of the arrow. And if you get it in place and you're ready to lock it in place, you pull on this one, and this one actually pulls the tip of the arrow up in a horizontal position, locking it into the earth. You'll also want to get a driving rod. This thing is pretty heavy and solid, and it slips onto this piece right here, and of course that's how you drive it into the ground. There are different sizes of the earth anchors. You can get 3-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch, 8-inch, and 10-inch, and that's just what I know. Of course you can get steel and aluminum, and then according to the soil conditions and the compression strength of the soil, you'll want to look at the chart that they provide, and it'll give you how many feet you need to drive a specific size down to get to the strength that you need it to be. Ours only needed to be 4 inches and 3 feet, but we went ahead and did 6 inches and 3.5 feet. And the reason we did that was because when speaking to one inspector for the permits, he said the compression strength of the soil was 2,000, and then the other one said 2,200. And so we wanted to make sure, or pardon me, 2,500. And so the one chart said 2,200 for 4 inch at 3 feet, and the next one over was 3,000 for 3.5 feet with a 6 inch. So to err on the side of caution, because no matter who writes the permit up, you may not have the same inspector, we went with the higher value because we didn't want them to say it wasn't correct. So we ended up with a 6 inch Aero earth anchor, 3.5 feet down. So last hole, and this is what we're starting with, 6 inches of compacted gravel, 5 feet in from the corner. We got to get through that. Then we got to get through the frost, and hopefully we're home free. I can definitely hear you hitting a rock. Are those all the rocks you pulled out of there?
Yep.
Under there?
Yep.
Jeez. You got one now, right?
The side of the hole on like
You passed it. You know, if you were able to just drive it into the dirt, it'd be fine, but we got to navigate all these giant rocks. So what he's doing is bringing the top of the loop to the bottom of the I-beam so that when he pulls on the anchor cable and the tip comes up, it will allow for that inch and a half play so that it will go into the loop and the bolt and have a tight snug cable when we're done. This is the finished product of the earth anchor. With the bolts, they're number 8 bolts. They're aircraft bolts. In other words, they don't shear off easily. So we had to put 6 of those in around the entire shipping container. So this is it, guys. This is the concrete pads. We left a couple of stones there so you can take a peek at them. That concrete pad is 24 inches wide. So those stones are between 5 and 6 inches, and that's what we kept running into trying to dig the holes for these earth anchors. We have been challenged with frozen ground anywhere between 8 and 12 inches. We had to dig below, and then we kept hitting those rocks before we could even place those anchors. So we are hoping to see you shortly with some great news that we passed inspections and move forward with the next leg of our journey. To see you.